I'm just trying to protect my homeland and the people that I love.
Then what are you doing? Is this what you call justice?
What's up, Yoon-Fam? It is I,
Mark Yoon.
and today I'm bringing another hopefully exciting video. So what I got for you today is joining us in our speculation video for the new lore that's going to be coming up for Season 3. We have none other than Yoon-seong. Now, we're still not exactly sure if Star is going to be represented by Yoon-seong, or if it is in fact going to be Algol. The jury is still out, and I guess we'll find out when it comes to that, but I figured I'd cover him anyway, just in case. I personally do think it's more likely that it's Yoon-seong, but I can see everyone's points of view as to why they would believe it's also Algol, and I will be doing a new timeline lore story for him as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over his old previous backstory for the old timeline, and then we're going to kind of give some speculation as to what his new timeline story will be, if it needs to be changed at all, if it should be changed at all, or just any kind of, fun little thoughts about like how it could be incorporated into the new timeline with the new characters as they are. His backstory is a little bit longer, so we're going to read it together, which means we're going to
Hop on over to Wikipedia.
But we're going to check it out and read it together, and then after that we are going to discuss. So without further ado, let's begin. As a child, Yoon-seong had idolized Hwang Sung-young. However, he was no longer a personal hero, but a goal to surpass. Yoon-seong wished more than anything to challenge him to a duel. One day, news reached the Seong Dojang that Hwang was returning home from his long journey. Yoon-seong saw this as the perfect opportunity to force him to acknowledge his fighting skills, personally entertaining the idea of becoming stronger than his former hero all along. However, his challenge was rejected, as Hwang was more occupied with attempting to rejoin the military to help defend Korea from the impending invasion by Japan. Sung-mina, daughter of the dojang's owner, saw his brooding student over her father bitterly angry on account of the rejection of his challenge, and handed him a Sung family heirloom, the Dao White Storm, that according to legend possessed the ability to reflect the innermost thoughts of those who wielded the blade. That night, Yoon-seong studied the image of himself in the Dao and reflected, leading him to the self-realization that it was foolish to challenge Hwang for personal reasons, as Korea was in a state of peril, and that he could obtain the sword of salvation that Hwang had failed to find. Yoon-seong would finally be recognized and his challenge would be accepted. He immediately packed his belongings, took the Dao, and left the dojang in pursuit of the sword of salvation, unaware that Sung-mina would soon embark on a journey to bring him back home. During his journey, Yoon-seong heard rumors that the Sword of Salvation was an evil sword. He arrived in a village inhabited by children who had survived a war between neighboring nations over a fragment of Soul Edge that resulted in the destruction of a fortress city where they once lived. He announced that he was searching for Soul Edge, and was greeted happily by the children, except one, Talum, who told him about the dangers of the world. The children's leader, a sick boy, was startled when the sword was mentioned. Thinking that he knew something, Yoon-seong waited for an opportunity to question the boy. But the opportunity never came, for the boy would always avoid him. Talum tried to treat the boy, but to no avail. Seeing her disheartened, Yoon-seong would try to talk Talum every chance he could get, and she started to lighten up towards him. As the boy's condition deteriorated, Talum announced that she would try a drastic treatment, but the boy refused. Yoon-seong stopped him from arguing with Talum and spoke to him alone. The boy told Yoon-seong that he was the son of the lord of the fortress city who went insane when he obtained the fragment of Soul Edge. He performed terrible human experiments, using his own son as a test subject, resulting in a dark energy within the boy's body. The neighboring cities attacked when the lord was killed, while the boy rescued the children who were going to be used as test subjects. After hearing his story, Yoon-seong handed the boy his Dao, White Storm, telling him of its ability to show what lies inside the heart of whoever holds it. The boy looked into the blade and thanked Yoon-seong. After the ritual, Talim left the village, but Yoon-seong went after her. Still having few unanswered questions before he left, the boy told Yoon-seong that the wielder of Soul Edge, Nightmare, was in the lands to the west. Yoon-seong set out to find out the truth about Soul Edge. Eventually, Yoon-seong caught up with Talim, and the two of them continued their journey together. They came across an Egyptian temple that was destroyed, and Yoon-seong became more convinced that Soul Edge does exist. Then Seong-mina found him, and she told him that Soul Edge would not protect their homeland. Yoon-seong had a feeling that she would drag him back home, so he left her and Talim while they were asleep. As he got nearer to Ostrinesburg, he encountered Hwang, who also told him that Soul Edge was evil. However, Hwang did not stop Yoon-seong from continuing his quest, allowing the young warrior to find out for himself. As the two of them go their own separate ways, Yoon-seong carried on in confidence of his own strength. So I think that backstory is actually pretty good, considering. Like, I was surmising what I thought I would want him to do in this, and I think that it's pretty good. The only thing that I would want to see is that maybe he interacts with a few more characters outside of, you know, just Hwang and Song, and then maybe Talim. And I do feel like he deserves an adversary of sorts, because we know that Hwang Sung-young can kind of be seen as his, like, hero and rival at some points, but it'll be nice to see in this new timeline him trying to, you know, go his own separate way, which he usually does, and which he probably will, but going after Soul Edge by himself, or even the Soul Shards in this thing, would be even better, because we can see that, like, if he remembers this story, or this is the eventual story that he's going to entertain, because remember, Soul Calibur 6 is a soft reboot, so it is retelling of Soul Calibur 1 and parts of 2, and this is from 2 where he first came out, or it might be Soul Calibur, I'm not sure, I don't remember, but he could be seeking out these evil shards to try and either help his friend or find out for himself, and come across somebody to become his new rival. I think that would be a really good idea. Maybe even to Fugal Sestimus, so he can actually team up with Rock and Aeon. I think that would actually be a really cool story. Maybe they can help break Aeon from his mind control, since the manifestation has partially taken over his brain, transforming him to a lizard. We can see him, you know, coming back to the side of good, or at least regaining his own consciousness and becoming an anti-hero of sorts, and joining our 3 new compatriots on a journey to find Soul Edge and confront Nightmare. I think that would be pretty cool, especially if we have Talim, Seong-mina, and Hwang Sung-young in tow. It would be nice to see some of their Soul Chronicles added to, as well as the addition of the character. And like I said, this is all based on the assumption that the star signifier is actually going to be Hong Yoon-seong and not Algol. You guys know which way I lean, and I know which way most of you lean, but what I want to see in the comment section down below is what kind of story would you want to see sprout out for Yoon-seong in this new timeline. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not like if you want it to be, it's just whatever you can think of. I'm just trying to see all these cool ideas to see which one of us can be lucky enough to get closest to being right. I just think it's a fun little exercise to entertain. And with that being said, guys, we're going to bring this video to a close. I want to thank you for watching. I am going to be doing one of these for Algol as well, though there's not much. There is backstory for him, but not like so much in the way of that we know from this timeline, because most of these characters that have old timelines started from Soul Calibur or Soul Edge, and obviously he didn't enter the fray until Soul Calibur 4. So I will do a video covering him, and maybe we can throw some guesses as to how he will interact in this timeline if he is to come back. For example, like, is he from the old timeline? Like, is there only one Algol in the entire, like, universe? Or is there this versions of the Hero King turned evil at some point? So we're going to bring this video to a close with that, guys. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. I want to thank you guys always for watching and supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. And as always, I love it. Thank you.
And thank you.